Welcome to episode 53, where I do even more experimenting with boarding. I've got to get this figured out. I've got to get this nailed down. Let's get started. I've got a mission that's a fairly old one now, where I'm supposed to go to the Terrans and build them a station in Antigone Memorial. Let's set that to active. Because this says 4x4x5, and I already know the parts and I have a design ready for doing this. And I can get a quick 9mm for building that. I probably should get in a ship. Oh, you know what?
Docking permission granted.
Somebody recommended that I get an Irukandji interceptor. Because they're quick. Not much to look at, but hey, let's do that. Let's get one of these, and let's see, what should I put on it? Well, Mark III. Combat Mark III. Oh, this makes it all about yaw. I'm not really a yaw person. Weapons. It only has one weapon. So it shouldn't be one of those specialized weapons. It should be just a standard. Well, this is a high power slot. So let's see what this encyclopedia says. Sure, I'll take that. Looks like it does 900 damage against shields and 700 against hull when the shields are down. 31, this. I've never used an interdiction probe. I'm not sure how they work, but you know, if it's going to be my personal flying around ship, it might be useful to be able to interdict things for my other ships. Interdiction might have come in real handy when I was trying to prevent the Ankarkachua from going into travel mode, right? Right. Looks like 1.4 million. That's fine. 1 minute. Teleport.
Can I help? Sir?
Right. Let's see if this thing is as fast as people say. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put shields on.
We're pleased to welcome you aboard.
Right. Wow, and it goes over 2 kilometers per second just in a burst. Okay. $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. It doesn't accelerate particularly fast. Looks like it's topping out well, though. 10 kilometers, that's good. 12. Very nice. 13.
Entering system. Barren Shores.
15. So it goes 15 kilometers per second. Which is nice. It's better than the rodent I've been
Entering
flying.
system. Watchful gaze.
The only thing it doesn't do is accelerate as fast, which is sad, but I guess I'll deal with it. Wonder how fast it decelerates. That's kind of important. Getting from sector to sector, though, that's pretty cool.
Entering system. Heretics End.
Let's just test something here. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good deceleration, I'd say. It's not too bad. Yeah, I can deal with this. I'll play with this for a while and see what happens. Alright. Curious about something. My hull part factory. Something that's been on my mind about the hull part factory. See, I'm making hull parts at either 5216 per hour or 5216 plus 512 per hour. I don't know. I don't know if this figure is included in this figure or not. But the 512 is because of the workforce, which is not doing well. Why is it not? Why don't we have medical supplies? That's kind of strange, eh? We don't have medical supplies coming in. That's really important because workforce is a tremendous boost to your production. And medical supplies are required for workforce. Consumption 200 per hour, but they're not coming in. It's got no restriction. All right, I have to figure out, maybe I can make my own medical supplies. Is that possible? Oh my gosh, you need spices and wheat. Really? Spices and wheat to make medical supplies? All right. I suppose I should do this. Oh, or I could just find somebody who has medical supplies and just deliver a whole ton of them. Why don't I do that? Because that would certainly solve the immediate problem. Oh, look, there's somebody who sells medical supplies right here in Heretic's End. That's good. Let's take the little choofer and we will trade with you guys and buy 618 and then drop them off at the hull part factory. And we'll trade again and grab the rest of them. Drop those off at hull part factory as well. There.
Callisto. Sentinel.
Get my medical supplies. Man, I did not realize that the workforce at the hull part factory has been suffering. That's a huge problem. Oh look, another walrus. I wonder where they're going. Oh weird, look at those modules down here. I've never seen those before.
Let's see what you got for me. Oh, that looks interesting. Better drop that cargo fast. Split say no. Believe me, you'll regret that.
See, I like these little ships because they're fast. This is way quicker than getting my vulture to do it. The vulture would probably run into the station, kill a bunch of people just trying to dock. Eventually I'm going to want to make my own medical supplies. So what's on my mind about the hull part factory is that hull parts seem to be in huge demand. Very, very big demand everywhere. Well, everywhere they use hull parts. And I was thinking that maybe I should make a second hull part factory to help meet the demand. Because I don't think that hull parts would just build up and not get bought. I think that they would all get bought, which would be profit for me. And also provide hull parts for everybody who's building ships, stations, because there just doesn't seem to be enough people building things because there's no hull parts. Alright, work for it. Yeah, that's strange. I wonder what happened. Wow, they actually killed that eye. Without any help. Well, I don't think I've seen Heretics End this quiet in ages. Man, the same problems in headquarters. No medical supplies. I had no idea. We don't have enough silicon. That's not good. Looks like the Hound is repairing. It says it has 2 active repair drones, but I don't see them. Holy shit. There's another scale plate in Carcaccio Raider right here. Should I take it? I mean, I'm serious. Should I take it? If they're just going to give them to me, what the heck, right? Oh my gosh. Wait. I'd have to get in the Katana mod. Katana Mason. First thing to do is to put the good Marines back on my Incarcaccia from the Walrus. They really only have 12. Then I have to get the target followed by pretty much everybody. Okay, so now I got a boarding fleet, and I'm in this ship again.
Katana.
Although I need to repair the hull, or just not get damaged, I guess. So there goes my other one. He's like, I'm on it. So here's my main question. My main question, if I'm going to board a ship like this one, where he has experienced defending crew on board, is it better to send in my recruits first and soften them up, and then send my trained crew in to finish the job? Or is it better to include my trained crew in the initial assault in the hopes of really whittling down their numbers with fewer losses of actual numbers on my part, and then which might actually produce more veterans? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, this whole thing is very, very unknown for me. I don't know how the numbers game works. But I mean, I can try it both ways, I suppose, and reload if it's not favorable. But I just really would like to understand how this works so that I can make, intelligent decisions when boarding. I think I'm going to send my experienced Marines in first. What are you doing? Who's shooting? Why are you... Why is there already shooting going on? I just told him to follow them. I didn't say shoot him. What is this? What is this? It wasn't my guys shooting. It's the frickin' Paranid. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is going to make things complicated. So I've got a Gorgon, which is... Okay, so the Gorgon in vanilla is a frigate. But in VRO, frigates have been added as a classification, which they weren't in vanilla. The frigates are a capital ship, and Gorgons are corvettes, as you can see here. So this is a corvette in VRO. It's the same ship. It's just not called a frigate. And a frigate in VRO is a bigger ship. It's something between a corvette and a destroyer, I guess. So it's like that Hyperion that we found a ways back. That was a frigate, I'm pretty sure. So what I'm going to have to do, since I'm allied with the Paranid, I'm going to have to start boarding operations, and then I'm going to have to ask this guy to stop shooting. But he's not likely to kill the Incarcaccia by himself. Well, you never know. Maybe he is. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Let's save. So the first wave, I have 12 veterans and 214 recruits, which is all by itself enough to completely fill a boarding operation, because they're the same ship, the same size, and this one is full. I'm going to scan this guy.
Guard.
just to see what the situation is. You know, I probably should see if he's armed the same. So, Hunter, Sea-Wiz, another one, another Sea-Wiz. Cruise missile, a large cruise missile. They are not armed the same. Large flak artillery. Okay, so here's the cruise missile battery. Well, there's a large flak artillery cruise missile turret, and there's going to be some kind of large turret on the front. Oh, it doesn't have anything mounted in that slot. That's weird. Okay, so all right, a little different. Should be fine. Now, because mine is pretty close, it won't take very long to get this operation underway. I just need to take the engines out and the weapons.
Raider.
Scan it.
Go ahead and scan.
He was okay with me scanning him. I think that's funny. So he's got 114 crews. This is not going to be a cakewalk. We'll just see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't know what to expect. Didn't mean to do that. Alright, fine, whatever. They went down super easy. I didn't expect that.
Awaiting orders.
Alright, so now is a good time for me to ask my buddy to stop firing. So he's friendly, but he's not giving me the option to ask him to stop firing on my boarding trip. Oh, it's because I haven't actually begun boarding it. Duh. Alright. So we're going to set up the boarding operation now. And I'm going to send in 12 veterans and 214 recruits. Oh, you know what? I don't want any of those recruits to come from other ships. And I've got my other ships. They're not here yet. Actually, wow, they're just kind of hanging back. They haven't even moved. All right, so let's do this. Let's remove all assignments, and we'll just do this with the Incarcantua. We'll ask him to board, and we're going to send in everybody. Oh, the resistance is still 3,300. So I'm likely to lose everyone? Is that right? Am I seeing that right? Because if I lose everyone, then I lose all 12 of my veterans. Whereas if I send in, like, 226 recruits from a different ship, or maybe if I hold my veterans back, like what happens if I hold my veterans back? Yeah, I could do that, right? I could send in you know, okay, this looks like a good place to save for an experiment. Just this experiment, save game. I just want to see what the difference is between my 12 veterans being part of this and my 12 veterans not being part of this. Board all the recruits except 12 veterans, and we're going to go with very strong and very strong because I don't want to have to damage the hull. Well, okay, wait. We'll go with medium again. We'll go with medium. I'll damage the hull. Fine. Because we want them to go quickly. It says damage to the hull to reduce the time needed to breach the target. I don't know if risk to Marines. See, if I say very weak, the risk to Marines is very low. But why is it risk to Marines? Do the Marines die when they're trying to breach before the assault begins? That's another question. I have no idea. But medium. I think I've taken out all his turrets. I should probably make sure, though. No, I haven't. Okay, I've got to take out all these turrets before I mess with boarding, because I don't want those pods getting shot at.
Raider.
It looks like he's out of turrets. Although he's deployed a laser tower.
Laser tower Mark II.
Now what? Okay, so now I have to start the boarding operation. Send in the recruits. We'll go medium, medium, start operation.
Boarding teams preparing for launch.
I do have to damage the hull.
Incarcatua. Raider.
So let's get started on that. There we go. We should be seeing boarding pods any second now. Stop shooting at my boarding target. Thank you. Parent is leaving him alone. Somebody's still shooting. Is it that fighter? Might be this guy.
Greetings. Greetings.
Kindly stop shooting at my boarding target.
Greetings. Confirmed.
Thank you. Alright, so you can see my Incarcatua is getting into position before deploying boarding pods. There they go. Ooh, wow. That is a lot of pods. Holy cow. That is a lot of pods. Check this out. Look at that. Whoa.
Contact. Making preparations to breach.
He got his cruise missiles back up.
Steady. Contact. Making preparations to breach.
This is a
Got it.
spicy one.
Keep
All
an
right.
eye on sensors.
Stage in progress. Stage in progress. All right. Here's a slacker. Let's just make sure that it actually does.
Steady.
This one.
Contact. Making preparations to breach.
I'm not going to shoot him unless I have to.
Steady.
All right. Okay, good. I think we're in the next phase.
I need an update. Preparing for breach. Sit rep.
Yep. Here we go. All right. Total casualties 0. And one thing I want to do while I'm thinking about it is I want to take a bunch of Marines. I want to refill the Incarcatua while I'm thinking about it, because the Incarcatua is sitting right here, and I've got Marines on other ships that are other places. But I can move the Marines over without having the ships nearby. They just get in tiny little pods and just zip over or teleport or something. But I can transfer crew, I'm pretty sure, just by going like this. And then maybe taking the walrus here and doing the same thing. Oh wait, do I have to wait for them to show up? Maybe. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it's important to remember that when you transfer crew, it's not instantaneous. It's fast, but it's not instantaneous. Oh, stage in progress. Okay, here we go. Okay, attacking Marines. So you can see, I don't know why, but we haven't been getting like the audio updates. But I've had 211 casualties from my recruits. Because yeah, I'm thinking that you don't send your experienced ones in first because they're likely to die. And you don't want, obviously, your experienced ones to die. So you send in your recruits first to get it softened up. And then you send in your experienced ones with recruits next to finish the job. I'm pretty sure that's how it's meant to be done. All right, so you can see that sound represents the failure of the boarding operation. I don't know why we never got any dialogue voiceovers, but here we are again. Only this time, I'm going to send over more. I never got this filled up is the problem. It's got 209 Marines. It needs 226. Okay, well, that looked like it went instantaneously. Therefore, I'm going to start another boarding operation. We'll do very strong, medium, and we'll send in everybody. Oh, it says I only have 209. Ooh, that's strange. How come it says I only have 209? But over here it says I have 226. Oh gosh, they're shooting at it again. That's not good. I got to start my boarding quick. All right. Well, we'll just do this with what we got. Oh, now it says 226. Okay, that's good. So sending in everybody again. We'll go medium, medium. Start operation.
Boarding teams preparing for launch.
Oh, look. That's a Hyperion.
Hyperion.
Yeah, see, it says frigate. It says frigate right here. So this is a frigate with exceptionally bad textures. I mean, it was probably really good in like 2002 or something. But they really should update it. I mean, you can use AI to upscale textures, for what it's worth. I think that might be worth doing. So if this Hyperion starts shooting at the Kirkacha, then I'll have to ask it to stop. I'll just keep an eye on it. But yeah, looks like he's thinking about attacking. Those must be
Awaiting orders.
Hang on. So yeah, I'm waiting for my ship to get back up there. Oh dear. Well, he's got his shields back up, so that's good. I guess we have to wait for my boarding to begin. I think we've got action happening soon. He's just getting into position. I don't know why he has to get so close. I mean, really, come on. That's too close. Okay, you can begin boarding any time now, buddy. We got friends that are shooting.
Boarding pod.
Boarding pods. Are they out? I don't see any.
Waiter.
Oh! Ouch. Stop doing that. No cruise missiles, please. This is my target. I want this ship. I don't want you killing it. They're gonna kill it, aren't they? Stop shooting my boarding target. I bet that cruise missile was free. Frickin' hell. Stop shooting it. Who's shooting cruise missiles? This thing doesn't have a lot more. Look, it's all on this board.
Stop!
Who is firing cruise missiles?
Safe journey.
No, my boarding pods are out. Okay.
Stay sharp.
Come on, don't do this.
Follow that course.
Greetings.
Stop shooting my boarding target.
Contact. Making preparations to breach.
Acknowledged.
For fuck's sake.
Imminent.
You stupid ass Paranid. Yeah, that was less than ideal. So the thing that I learned after a few attempts at this is that it's pretty hard to juggle all the stuff that's necessary in order to get boarding to work in a hostile environment with a big target. For some reason, the game, in that particular moment where I saved it, decided to send the whole universe to come and kill this one pirate. You have no idea how bad it got after this point. I mean, yeah, I got the first stage done, and the second one didn't complete before they killed it. Even though I asked them stop shooting the boarding target. It's really frustrating because a lot of times you don't even know who's firing, and you don't know which ship to ask, and they don't always do what you ask, which is another thing that's a bit frustrating about that mod. The authors thought it would be fun to put a little bit of randomness into the scenario where you ask them to stop shooting and they think about it and there's a delay and they might not even do what you ask. I remember the mod said that it depends on your standings, although my standings are really good with the Paranid. I don't know why they were dicking around with me, but they sent, I'm not kidding, 2 Deimos battleships to come kill this pirate to Heretic's End. They sent them to Heretic's End. There's no reason to send battleships to Heretic's End. I mean, unless you're planning on going up to, you know, the Xenon areas or something through the northern sectors. But these things made a beeline for the pirate ship. And I'm just kind of, I'm struggling to know what to make episodes out of because, yeah, I experienced this in the game, but I don't want to be too repetitive for the audience. At the same time, it's a learning lesson for the audience and for myself. So I think, at least for now, I'm going to show these things, but if you have anything to say about that, let me know. It's difficult to know what to put into episodes when I've only got so much time to put into playing, and I end up spending more time in editing than I do in gaming. Mostly because I really want the videos to be good. I really don't want them to waste time just with me doing things that aren't really interesting. Anyways, that was that episode, and I guess the next episode will be the next attempt. And I think, I'm trying to remember how many attempts it took. I think it took 4, but I'll try really hard to not be repetitive and stick to just what I'm talking about. So anyways, thanks for watching. Catch you next time.